Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eddie, it's known as Mottaskin on Instagram and YouTube, where I cover Korean skincare in general, and some mental health aspects. For today's video, we're actually going to, well, you guys are going to be joining me in my PM routine. These are products that I've been currently using in my acne fighting routine. Some are relatively new and some have been staples for a minute, but I go through so many products, guys. So many. Honestly, sometimes I just want to choose what I want to use. I take a break from testing out products and just do what I know my skin loves. And sometimes brands send me some stuff that I know will work for my skin immediately based off the ingredient list. If you guys follow me on my other social Instagram, and if you look at the stories, you guys will probably know I've been going through a breakout as of the past 2 weeks, and it's probably a result from so many things in my life, but mainly moving. So basically I've been trying to tackle that, and I know it's directly related to my hormones, because it's stress and hormones, because honestly I've been doing my routine, I've been using my sunscreen, I've been cleaning my pillowcases, I've been, keeping my skin clean with the masks I use and spraying my face, so I know it's directly related to my hormones. So I want to talk about how I tackle that, as well as using a specific routine when I'm going through it. So like I said, we're doing a PM routine. So I got my whiskey for the evening. And it's Sunday, so we're having a nice Sunday. I was out today and now I'm home and I get to just kind of do my thing. So we're going to go in with the oil cleanser. So the oil cleanser I've been using as of late is a relatively new drop, and that's by Youth to the People, and it is their Dream Cleansing Balm. And this actually was sent to me in PR, and it is, off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys, wonderful. I've been reaching for it every day, and I've been looking so forward to my first cleanse. It's amazing. Basically, this one has prickly pear extract as well as hyaluronic acid. It's really supposed to be a flash melting formula. So basically what that means is it melts really easily on contact and turns from a balm to oil like that. And I will say, it's pretty quick, but I mean, it's not that flashy. So here we go. First of all, the jar is beautiful. And here it is. Obviously I've been using it, and so I just dipped my fingers into it because it did not come with a spatula actually. I think I might have been heavy-handed there, but here is the cream. So we're gonna massage it. And basically one of the reasons I've been loving this so much is because, guys, it smells like orange creamsicle. Like, it smells like my youth running to the ice cream truck and having a orange creamsicle. Oh, it smells so good. So right now I'm removing like 2-3 layers of tinted SPF. So as you'll see, it really just glides on there. It isn't hard to work into the skin, so I've been really enjoying it. I go over the eyes. It doesn't give me cloudy eyes as some oils do. Smells amazing, breaks everything down miraculously, and doesn't over deeply dry out the skin. It's really, really nice. They make a claim that the hyaluronic acid still hydrates post-cleansing, and that's kind of how hyaluronic acid is. It gets moisture from your environment when on your skin, so it's gonna do that after you apply it throughout the day. So I know that's one of the marketing gimmicks. I understand it, but just know hyaluronic acid in general is going to do that. Alright, so I massaged it in, and I'm going to let it sit for like a minute, and I'm going to go emulsify it. Okay, so we are emulsified, and my sunscreen is removed. So as I forgot to mention, so a double cleanse is so vital for a routine, just to know you made sure to get off everything from the day. Pollution, oil, excess oil, sebum, your sunscreen, any tint, any makeup, just everything from your skin. So it's so vital, especially when you're breaking out, just to make sure you get everything out. And when you do your oil cleanser, it really helps just get that gunk out of the pores. It's just a staple. So always start off with a double cleanse. Okay, so before my skin dries out, we're gonna apply the Dr. Zenovia Benzoyl Peroxide Cleanser with bakuchiol and green tea. So this one was sent to me as PR, and I was really interested in it because it's 10% benzoyl peroxide, but just, it has that like combination that was really interested in, and their approach is hormonal acne, which is what I have because it's directly related to my body and not what I'm doing to my skin. So far my skin has been thriving on this cleanser. I mean, literally after 2 days of using this, my partner looked at me and said in the morning, "Wow, you don't look like a pizza face anymore." Which is so mean. But, you know, it goes to show that this product is working because after 2 days, there was visible results. So I'm using this 10% benzoyl peroxide cleanser. I will say it is rather potent. Like I can feel the tingles going on right now. And so I'm really focusing right here around the jawline just to make sure it gets into all the pores. So after massaging it here for a minute now, I'm just going to let it sit on my skin for another minute just so the benzoyl peroxide can get into those pores, and also the green tea and also the bakuchiol, which is an alternative to retinol, which I thought was really innovative in this formula. And then I'm going to go jump in the shower, wash it off, and I'll be back post-shower to do my toner. But while I let it sit here for a minute, I just will remind you that benzoyl peroxide is a great one for acne-prone skin, but especially for hormonal and inflammatory acne, which is what I have. So I haven't used benzoyl peroxide in a while because it was never really my friend. But since using this really well formulated formula, like I'm gonna do a whole review on this, on their whole line, because I'm actually using other stuff from their line that you might see tonight. But honestly, it is really good, and Dr. Zenovia should be on your list if you are acne prone. Benzoyl peroxide will get in there and kill all the acne causing bacteria and just let your skin heal and let it do its thing while keeping away even new breakouts. So far I've been loving it, and even though it's a little strong and tingly, it hasn't damaged my skin. Just make sure that you treat your skin with kindness after using this cleanser. Okay, so I am out of the shower. Fast forward. Alright, so we are double cleansed. The palette, the scene is ready for the heavy hitters. So we've double cleansed. I had benzoyl peroxide in the formula to really get rid of that acne, those breakouts, and prevent any from happening. Just stay tuned for that Dr. Zenovia review because honestly, it is really nice. Okay, so recently I've really been into toner pads because they're so easy and they tend to be soothing and they just make the process so much easier. They combine 2 steps into one. So I've been recently using the Jung toner pads. These are their Cica relief pads. So these basically have centella and madecassoside along with panthenol and glycerin to soothe the skin. Just open her up and, well, usually you use the little tongs to get it out, but I've been recently just grabbing them like this. Here it is. And fragrance-free, oil-free, so I've been really enjoying this. So I'm going to wipe this and tone my skin. Just so the first step is soothing and healing for the skin. And with the hyaluronic acid, it's going to prepare the skin for the rest of the routine. So while I'm doing this step, I just want to talk about the approach when it comes down to internal and mental health. So when it came down to my breakout, I knew it was directly related to hormones, but in general, my acne is related to hormones. And so when that happens, I have to take a step back, not only with my routine, but also with me. You know, I have to take into account, have I been doing my deep breathing exercises? Because if you know, when you're stressed and when you're going through a lot, you tend to hold your breath a lot. So paying attention to the way you breathe is so important because it actually can be a strong indicator if you're currently going through a stressful time or moment. Paying attention to that is a big thing. So whenever you're doing anything, just for a moment, take 3 deep breaths, and then from there make sure you're in a nice rhythm and then continue forward. And actually there's something called walking meditation where you're walking and you're constantly counting your breath. and making sure your breath is in unison with what you are doing. And that's a great way to practice your breathing when you're not supposed to be really paying attention and your autonomic nervous system is actually in effect. Autonomic nervous system is actually the things you do when you don't think about it. So like when you're driving and you have no idea how you drove 20 minutes, like you can't remember what car was ahead of you, you can't remember anything, you just know you did it. That's your brain going into its automatic system because you already know how to drive and get to somewhere. So it kind of takes the pressure off driving because you know how to do it already. So you don't need to put too much pressure into that activity opposed to when you're first learning it. So that's an example of something you can do to kind of balance out the stress levels and prevent breakouts and also, reassess. That's one thing I did. And also just when I started breaking out and when anyone breaks out, they started getting really anxious. They start going, ooh, what did I do? Why is this happening? Because even though I have acne-prone skin and everything, I've kind of like managed it, not to the point where I'm acne-free, but to the point that I'm no longer extremely upset about my skin. I'm actually okay with the status of my skin. But when I started breaking out again, for example, my partner, he said, wow, you don't look like pizza face anymore. And that, even though it was funny, it could have not been funny because back maybe a year ago, that would have broken me. With that being said, I knew like, oh, okay, I was at a status where I was pizza face. Oh, God. And so, I could have gone to a dark place. But so then I realized, no, I'm doing everything correctly. It's just an internal thing. So I started focusing on barrier care and gentle acne fighters. And just looking internally and calming myself and just going with the flow and knowing everything will be okay because there's an information and knowledge out there that we can all use. So now that my toner has sunk in, I'm going to go in with my blue light therapy mask. This one by Dr. Dennis Gross that only lasts 3 minutes. So I'm going to use that 3 minutes to really lecture. So let's put it on. La 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 la. Don't I look cool? Okay. So we're going to put the blue light effect. Alright, let's go. So, when it comes down to mental health, you gotta take that approach of really looking at what can I do? What can I take control of? And what can I not take control of? So, I knew a breakout, even though it set me back, even though it made me feel kind of sad and unattractive, not handsome, I still realized, okay, this is out of your control because what is in control has kept your acne at bay for a year now. And so let's scale it back. You know what to do. So it was nice having a simple routine of just double cleansing, just doing, my tretinoin and moisturizer. And in the morning, I just cleansed. I used one serum, and I used sunscreen. So now I'm actually back into that acne fighting routine, which is why I wanted to record this. So it was putting that power into what I do have control of, because I think that's the most important part. Because when you are breaking out and having acne, what hurts the most, yes, the acne hurts, both literally and figuratively. The thing is, what hurts the most is that no matter what you're doing, nothing's working. And that's what really just hurts, because it's like, you get advice, you go to dermatologists, you use products, you get unsolicited advice. And it's like, I've done it. I don't know what else to do. And it hurts because it's like saying, what are you doing that's wrong? And that hurts. So it's taking that control. So just to wrap up the LED, so the blue light therapy kills acne-causing bacteria. It also soothes the skin and calms inflammation. And what I love about this Dr. Dennis Gross mask is that it fits very snugly. As you can tell, it doesn't really go all the way over here, and it's actually pretty pressed onto the skin. And so for 3 minutes, it uses powerful blue or red light to really get into the deep layers of the skin. So I'm gonna let this finish and I'll be right back. Okay, now that I've done my blue LED light therapy, I'm gonna go in with the Mugwort Essence by I'm From. If you've been following me for a while, you know I love Mugwort and I love I'm From's Mugwort and I love I'm From. With benzoyl peroxide back into my routine, this Mugwort Essence has become vital in my routine because not only does it calm down redness and is it antibacterial, it also just keeps the redness and sensitivity in check. And I actually use this essence almost like a indicator. So rubbing it on right now, wherever I feel like a reaction, I know there are parts of my face that are sensitized, and I know it's coming from the benzoyl peroxide. So I'm currently feeling a little bit right here around the mouth region, on my eyebrow region, and a little bit around my nose. And that's how I know those areas needed to be soothed. And that's how I know Mugwort does the job, because it is actively soothing it right now. So if it's really red, I will actually use it as DIY mask. But right now, this is all I need. And I tap it in and I press it in, and it does wonders. Like I've always said this in all my Instagram stories, the moment Mugwort is out of my routine, the redness comes back and I go, why did I do that? I need to get back on it. I've tried a lot of Mugwort products. I've tried ones that have rice and Mugwort, like the one from April Skin. I've actually tried also their Artemisia, which is Mugwort Moisturizer. And honestly, those are the ones pale in comparison to this one from I'm From. Yes, it is 100% Mugwort and not, it doesn't have like other ingredients in it. But that's the thing, the Mugwort is so good in here that that's all you need for soothing. You don't need anything else fancy. You just need 100% lovely Mugwort, and I promise you it's going to soothe it and tone down redness. Okay, so now we've done acne fighting to the benzoyl peroxide. We double cleansed, so everything was ready and set for ingredients to penetrate the skin. We went into toner, which was soothing and calming and hydrated the skin with hyaluronic acid. Now we soothe the skin, and we use blue light therapy to kill any acne-causing bacteria and further the skin and calm down inflammation. So we are tackling a lot of areas of acne. Now we're going to go into the serum stage, where we're actually tackling specific concerns related to acne, both during and post. So right now I'm going to go from thinnest to thickest texture, and I'm going to start off with the Acaderma Starlight Spot Corrector. So this was sent to me recently, so I haven't used it long enough to say how it is for my skin, but I will say this: it has tranexamic acid, it has niacinamide, and it has other antioxidant blends to really make the skin heal from dark spots, hyperpigmentation, and help with texture and redness. So having this immediately after my soothers and before, well, spoiler alert, I'm going to use a retinoid, really helps like kind of battle what happens after acne, which is dark spots, which is, you know, what's left over. So far I've been using this for a couple of days, so like I said, I don't have much to say about it yet, but I will say this: it is nice. It doesn't pill. It sinks in very nicely. The formula is obviously very good with tranexamic acid and niacinamide in here, but also just the bottle is amazing, and Acaderma is really well known for their formulas being science backed and science proven. So they use ingredients that aren't fancy schmancy or trendy, but actually ones that work. And a lot of studies have shown that tranexamic acid accompanied with niacinamide actually has a synergistic effect and can actually help, you know, even out skin tone. So I tapped that in for a little, and it is a really, really nice formula, and it gives you such a nice glow, as you can tell almost immediately. So I'm going to let that sink in, and then we're going to go into our retinoid. But before we go into our retinoid, I just want to remind you that honestly, when it comes to acne-prone routines and individuals, attacking it from many angles is really awesome, but also be aware that you're not using things that are really potent one after another. As you notice, even though I'm tackling it from many sides of post and during and redness and inflammation and hormonal, that I'm still making sure to leave room for my skin barrier, for soothing, for taking care of the skin, for what happens after the breakout. So using that synergistic effect and those products and those ingredients is wonderful. Also, reminder, when you're doing your routine, make it like a really nice experience. Like right now, I'm drinking my whiskey, I'm having a nice night, I got music in the background, I'm enjoying my time, and I love recording. So make it like a ritual, because if you're enjoying it, your skin is going to show it. So definitely incorporate that calmness and that being in the present to your routine. Okay, so the serum has sunk in. Now I'm going to go into my retinoid. The retinoid I've been using, and I think if you've been following, you're not going to be surprised, but that is the Apostrophe Tretinoin formula. This additionally has spironolactone to tackle hormonal acne, as well as tranexamic acid, 5%, to tackle those dark spots. When I did my consultation with them, that's the formula they did for me. All you need is a pea size right here. And I actually have a whole video on Apostrophe if you haven't seen it. It was sponsored by them. Definitely go check that out. But all you need is a pea size to get all areas of your skin and just spread it out. It's been doing a really good job with skin texture and that glow, and just really helping keep my skin in balance. So while I was going through my rough breakouts here and here, that's all I was using, and it treated my skin fairly. You know, I took out all acids, I took out, you know, really harsh actives. You know, I just kept things simple and really focused on hydration. This was the only active I kept using, and everything was a-okay. And so I like to personally leave it on for like 10 minutes just for it to do its thing, and then I go into the moisturizing step, which is so important for acne-prone skin types, for you being on tretinoin and using things like benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid. Okay, now that my retinoid has sunk in and done its thing, I'm ready to do the moisturizing step. So we're gonna do eye cream first, because apparently, I had no idea about this, when you put eye cream on, it should be before your moisturizer, because eye creams usually have really potent ingredients, and putting them under your eye before your moisturizer so that they're closer to the skin is vital. So the eye cream we're going to go in with today is the Dr. Dennis Gross Triple Correction Eye Serum. This is triple correction due to the fact that it has ferulic acid, it has a retinol, and bakuchiol. So if you guys have been following me, I have also done some work for Dr. Dennis Gross. I sent some footage for them, and it was a paid sponsored commercial / ad where I used the serum and really put it to work. I love this serum because it's supposed to really brighten up the under eyes, and it does it in a gel format. So before we apply it, I'm gonna spray on my Neon Superoxide Dismutase Saccharide Mist. This mist was actually inspired by My Skin is Glass and SPF Slut on Instagram. He's an awesome guy. I love the dude. If you're really into skincare, you will have to follow him. His skincare and sunscreen game is on point. Definitely give him a follow. I'll put his name here, and I will put it down in the description box. This is really good for hydrating the skin, so I'm going to spray it on my eye area before going in with the eye serum. And as you see, it is a gel format, and this is really gentle on the skin. And obviously this is not for acne prone skin specifically, but the fact that it has retinol, bakuchiol, and ferulic acid, all things that you would use on acne prone skin / to fade hyperpigmentation, it is a perfect ingredient list for those who love looking into their ingredients. So as you see, it's not thick, it's not too creamy, it just sinks in. And when you hydrate the skin with something like a mist, it really allows the ingredient list to penetrate the skin much more easier. And it adds that extra hydration. We don't want peeling around the eyes, guys. Also, using benzoyl peroxide, sometimes it gets around the eye area, so using an eye cream really helps just rehydrate the area, and using ingredients like retinol and bakuchiol really just keeps the eye area firm. Because even though we're focusing on acne prevention and healing acne, we also want to think about the future. We want to think about our under eye. It's really investing in your future self. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the moisturizer. So I'm going to spray the mist all over. And now, as I said earlier, I love Dr. Zenovia. It's been having a great effect on my acne-prone skin. And I'm going to go in with their Ceramide and Peptide Repair Moisturizer. So Dr. Zenovia actually has different types of lines in her line. Some are for clear complexion, meaning benzoyl peroxide, some glycolic acid in there, and retinol bakuchiol. But this is from their essential lines. And essential lines is basically more of a anti-aging or well-aging, as we like to say here. And here is the texture. It's like a nice cream pudding. I really like it. And I will say there is some fragrance to this line, but I will say it does not affect the formula, because this formula is so robust with peptides, ceramides. I believe it also has squalane, hyaluronic acid, and it has their green tea complex in there, green tea polyphenols. And it does smell a little like rose water slash like medical. It's not the nicest smell in the world, I will say, but from using it for a couple days now, I can get over it because it is such a nice formula. It really complements her line, and it really has taken care of my skin despite incorporating 10% benzoyl peroxide and using my 0.25% retinoid. And as you can see, it gives a nice subtle glow. It is not heavy for a cream. And if you want, you can relayer it around the mouth area or your nose area just to make sure you aren't peeling. Stay tuned for the review of the Dr. Zenovia line as well as some of their essentials in their brand. And that is my Acne-Prone PM routine. Let me know down in the comments how you guys like it. I really like this routine. It's been working for me for the past week or two. And in the mornings, I do kind of a separate routine. So definitely follow me on Instagram if you guys want to see what I upload on the daily, if I change up my routine, if there's some new and upcoming products that I tried. And please follow me there and send me a DM if you guys want me to investigate a certain brand or trend. Let me know. But that is my PM routine. Let me know if you guys liked it, and definitely sound off below. Alright,